The channel you're watching this on was flagged 3 times and taken down. When I complained that the flaggings had, in most cases, if not all, an appeal submitted, and that they were done about things that should never be flagged, and that the videos were supposedly taken down, but they were left up because there was still a pending appeal. The YouTube channel was restored. Then someone on Twitter graciously told me that the 3rd flagging was valid, and then when I pointed out, here they all are and the appeal hasn't been processed, suddenly there aren't any flaggings on the channel and I'm back to square one, and maybe, or maybe not, the videos are still up. YouTube and Google might have decided to take the videos down while tacitly acknowledging by doing this that they shouldn't have been flagged. In fact, I'm pretty sure they did that to be spiteful. Yes, if I post a video where I'm just sitting here doing this and not talking, I'm going to get flagged for medical misinformation or scams or porn. Because apparently this is OnlyFans or something. But through Twitter, the only place I could do this, YouTube refuses to acknowledge they made a mistake or flagged me maliciously. And I also suggested today, please check my other channel, it's the same shit. And also, would you let them at YouTube know that they should find out who keeps flagging it? Because I'm starting to wonder if it's really the bot or just some angry employee. 1 minute and 35 seconds wasted. Let's move on. Dr. Dvorit Samid, NCI, or is it the National Cancer Institute? NCI could be something else. And big pharma company, unnamed, and authorities, very vague, assertion about them. They all filed 11 copycat patents. They were granted against someone who had patents, 11 of them. And this says quite clearly that current approaches in medicine are ineffective and toxic. That they're not really curing people. And this says that the other, our hero, and his medical treatments obviously must work because of people copycatting his patents, him being granted patents, and the pushback and the conspiracy to silence him and suppress him that has worked so well that YouTube is literally promoting the snake oil salesman on YouTube for money because he's paying them to do it, and he's putting up videos to get people to show up at his clinic for snake oil and make a fuck ton of money. That's totally it. YouTube is actually promoting, honest to God, medical misinformation while flagging me for pointing it out. Dear YouTube reviewer, you've walked into it. I am stating for a fact against some hidden corporate rule. YouTube is guilty of spreading misinformation, medical misinformation, that kills people by promoting a clinic that lies to the patients, that is under FDA scrutiny, that has treatments that can't work and cannot be reproduced and cannot be proven outside of FDA approval. And this is a notoriously fictitious litigant with a fuck ton of money. And you fuckers are going to flag me on his behalf because you're getting paid to do his ads. Yeah, after having my channel torn down, and then you guys kind of accidentally, on purpose, acknowledging that it shouldn't have been taken down, and maybe you fired the fucking employee who keeps flagging the shit, or maybe you told the bot to leave me alone. No, I'm not hiding under a rock, you little shitbags. I'm shoving your own shit in your face. I'm a little pissed. Let's move on. Any claim that he or they filed X number of patents about anything requires we have citations and patent numbers, or the application number. And guess what? Justia and Google patents have pages you can link, and you can tell us where they are. You can even type it out by removing the dots and stuff so it doesn't get flagged as a link. Well, fuck that. Let's just say stuff. So it's supposed to be 11 copycat patents by Dvorit Samid, NCI, or National Cancer Institute, and a pharma company and authorities. Those last two I can't check. They're too vague. If anybody wants to bring it up, Well, I'm going to show you how to check that too. You have to show that any patent or claim that you're bringing up was non-trivial. That means it's actually a real patent, not just me adding a doohickey to slingshot so they can shoot arrows. I'm not patenting the slingshot, I'm patenting my upgrade. That doesn't mean I'm stealing someone's patent. This means I'm acknowledging I'm relying on the patent. I'm acknowledging that it's slightly infringing on the patent, and I'm asking to get a clearance through the patent office. Also, is this a claim that there's just 11 countries with the same patent over and over again? Really? Remember, we're talking about one or maybe two institutes, a doctor, some pharmaceutical company that isn't being named, and the authorities. That's five entities. Sorry, that's 5 entities that could have filed a patent. Now, if we claim 11 patents, that could have been 5 entities patenting 2 each. That's not as much of an attack as you might think. Maybe it's the same patent. So how do we check on it? Firstly, a patent doesn't mean something's real or exists. You can patent shit that doesn't exist. Yeah, you can patent a perpetual motion machine now. Why? Software patents. Intellectual patents do not require that they actually work, because if you're not aware of it, I can write a program for a computer that doesn't exist. I can't prove it exists. I can't prove it works. It's a piece of software. I can also write a patent for a program that only works on Macintoshes. That doesn't mean it works everywhere. Patents used to be for things that always work regardless of any other system, or they would be considered a patent based on something. I don't have to include my patent for my little Tetris game knockoff, that it has to be including the patent for IBM computers. So since that's happened, the U.S. Patent Office will grant you a patent for something that doesn't work. So saying it's patented doesn't mean it works, including medical treatments, especially medical treatments. Patent medicine. So, it's a logical fallacy that it must work, or that someone having a patent with something similar in it is an intrusion. Let's move on. A patent never proves something works. All it does is give you a monopoly on exploiting it, and being able to sue people if they bring it up in a conversation or a YouTube video. Yay! Yeah. The purpose of a lawsuit is not to win, it's to harass into submission your opponent. Yes, I'm quoting a cult leader. Let's talk about this one, though, instead. Here we go. I can patent something that doesn't work, a failed idea, to protect it, because it is unique. It has to be unique and non-trivial, and it has to differentiate itself. Or I can do it just to say I did it. Ignoring the many language translation errors induced to cause positive results on Google patents. So I had to sift through those. And using mostly justia patents. We look up NCI and also National Cancer Institute. They have many patents because they have them. They've been asked to patent them for research purposes. They've been asked to patent them to where that they can publish them openly so that they can't be exploited for money. That's actually a thing. It's an altruistic thing. A lot of time they're required to. By its nature, looking it up is almost impossible, but there's a bunch of companies called NCI, so that was a dead link. So I decided to look up the subject of the patent. Again, a patent of a subject doesn't mean the subject's true or real or working. Also, NCI may not always be National Cancer Institute. Next, I looked up Dr. Dvorit Samid. He has 14 patents from 1991 to 1996. None of them for anti-neo-plastons. None. He didn't do a patent on it. So his claim that he did it, or NCI, are dead because of something simple. I looked up patents that bring up anti-neo-plastons. All of them point to our hero, Stanislaw BURZYNSKI. He's the only one. Nobody's patenting shit underneath him. Well, no, you have to show me the patents. And that was not done. In plain text, like someone who wants to be taken seriously and be able to file a court case. Patents were granted. What's the patent number? Well, I want to sit here and talk about the suppression and oppression. I want to bitch and whine for 2 hours in a video with 2 million views 4 days ago. Really? That's you making your case that we're supposed to take seriously? Not Dr. BURZYNSKI. Fuck you. Put up your citations. Act like a scientist. Hate speech. Harassment. This guy has been getting money since the 1970s from people for a non-functioning cancer cure. And I'm going to get flagged, and YouTube is going to keep making money off of him. YouTube promotes medical misinformation and gets paid to do it. He was only granted 9 patents out of 14 applications, and all of them are incremental about anti-neo-plastons, except for a couple. Almost all of them that were granted. There's 9. So there can't be 11 copycat patents if he only has 9. He has 14 applications, which are visible. You might want to get rid of. And most of them are incremental and or weak patents upon his. Meaning the only one copycatting his patents, if you want to use that argument, is him. Which means he really has maybe 2 or 3 patents. Okay. Again, we're ignoring the many language translation error-induced positives on Google patents people are relying on. Because in Hindu, when you translate it back, it has something to do with, not kidding, a toy train engine. One of these is not like the other. So unless you're going to do some research, he doesn't have 11 patents that have been copycatted because he doesn't even have 11 patents. And for all I know, it's the same patent over and over again, if you were doing this claim, in 11 motherfucking languages. It's not the same thing. And again, the people who are claimed about it, NCI, Big Pharma, authorities, and Dvorit Samid, the only way to look up whether any of this was true was to look them up, and it is not true. This is a false claim. In the wake of the death of a child during his treatment, and only after 37 years of stalling around out of 40 years of refusing to do double-blind studies to prove anything, he published a non-duplicated result from a single tumor study as his only positive outcome. It took him 37 years to be forced to offer any proof. And it isn't. He has refused time and time again to let anybody do a duplicate test, sometimes citing his patents to keep people from double-checking whether his shit works. People do it anyway, risking a lawsuit. All of this was to even check if his treatment affected anything, not just cancer, just any damn thing. What is his treatment? Human urine-derived peptides and derivative peptide extracts that he gave a eminently trademarkable and service markable anti-neo-plastons name, which is going to have hyphens in it so he can't flag the video as easily. It'll still show up. But I won't get top ranked because, again, YouTube is being paid to promote his bullshit. He claims he's not charging for the treatment, but he charges $7,000 a month or more to take care of end-stage patients who give gushing testimonials, sometimes long after they've died because he keeps playing them back. Doesn't mention they're dead. A lot of those testimonials are ghosts. They can't sue him. He's the subject of numerous FDA warnings, as doctors can't duplicate his results either because they didn't work or they get sued into the ground so they can't double check it. That's good medical science. He's threatened lawsuits against any critics, including people who are suing him because they're dying anyway. It's urine-derived peptides. And they have been studied by other people. And they can do all sorts of things. All sorts of bodily products can do something. You know, like blood can keep you alive. But that doesn't mean that they're cancer cures. He has 2 million views for the Stanislaw BURZYNSKI video 4 days ago as the only thing it brings up. The treatment isn't considered important. He has 60,000 views for 9 years ago for anti-neo-plaston. It's all about his struggle, not about any cure. It's ego. And YouTube advertises his conspiracy theory riddled medical misinformation, fake treatment, snake oil crap. And they're going to flag this video for medical misinformation for me pointing out that they did medical misinformation. And I'm going to make sure all the links are buried under one archived link below. It'll go to a backup copy of this video if I can get away with it, because I want you to be able to search this, but they're going to flag me for putting any link in here. And they'll call it porn. Again, YouTube makes money from this snake oil salesman and is going to flag me for medical misinformation. Goodbye. Thanks for watching. Good luck.